times when new clients sign up to my sugar-free recovery program, I see again and again how there's this huge misunderstanding around what it means to not eat sugar. And in general, like this idea of eating healthy and what are healthy foods. I'm recording this video right after Pesach. This is a time when a lot of clients sign up to my sugar-free recovery program because it's a good time. It's like after Pesach, they're feeling bad about themselves. They lost control or relapsed or, sort of didn't eat exactly healthy for the last week. Now with all the news that's happening, it's even harder. And now we're getting into this period of time between holidays, between Pesach and Shavuot, where there's like a couple of months where we can get into a routine and maybe change our routine and get into a new routine of healthier eating. And whenever these new clients, many times when these new clients come and I start talking to them about, a sugar-free recovery, what does sugar-free mean? It means that I will counsel them and lead them in the most professional way to really get free from these sugary, starchy, ultra-processed foods that are addictive and get into recovery from addiction and food freedom. For many people, what this means is abstaining from sugar. And here as well, the misunderstandings of what sugar is are huge. Like a client will say to me, okay, but Silan, date sugar, right? Date honey, that's not sugar, right? Maple sugar, that's not sugar. Isn't maple syrup is not sugar? Okay, I get it. So I'll stop eating sugar. So it's okay if I replace it with a little bit of honey, right? So people, please understand, from a metabolic point of view and also from an addiction point of view, sugar is sugar is sugar. It doesn't matter if it comes from a cane or a beet or a tree or a date or a bee. Sugar is sugar. When they start saying fruit sugar, natural fruit sugar, no added sugar, but it's like exploding with date honey, then it's sugar. Our body deals with it with sugar. Our brain reacts to it the same way as sugar, and sugar is addictive. My team and I make a huge effort to consistently put out high quality videos to help you on your way to health. If you're getting value from these, you can help us reach more people by liking, sharing, and commenting on this video. Thank you. Sugar for many people will, instead of making that like desire for something sweet to go away, it'll just make it stronger and worse. And it will sometimes push us into that area of craving, which is that it's not a matter of wanting anymore or not wanting, it's a matter of needing. It's like in our unconscious brain, it's like feels like it's a life or death issue. If I don't eat something sweet, I am going to die. Like I have to have something sweet. Of course, this isn't a logical way of thinking. It's just that feeling that we get. Have to have it. And what these foods are what cause the cravings. So if you're looking to lower or go off, lower your consumption of sugar or stop eating sugar, you have to understand what that means. What is sugar? Sugar is anything that is sweet. Now, it is true, any kind of added sugar. I will include in this video, you can sign up and I will send you a list of sugars, which I can tell you is not a complete list because the food industry is always and constantly making up new names for sugar in order to purposely confuse us and make us think that we're eating a healthy product when it's not and it has added sugar in it, because they know that the public knows that added sugar is not good for you, so that they make these new names for sugar so that you think that you're not eating as much sugar as even though it's sweet. The other thing is that it's important to know that white flours, it doesn't matter if it comes from wheat or spelt or corn or rice or potatoes, anything that has the fiber has been stripped from it and all that's left is this white powdered starch is sugar that doesn't taste sweet. It spikes our sugar levels, which spikes our insulin. It makes us hungry. It makes us crave, and it is addictive. And it is really, really important to understand what sugar is. The other misconception many times that people have about this is these natural desserts, or these desserts with artificial sweeteners, right? So the desserts with artificial sweeteners, for example, like these keto desserts that have in them maybe stevia or monk fruit or, xylitol, erythritol, all these sweeteners that maybe have not been researched yet so very much. So the harms have not been proven about them. And I am going to say about sweeteners, I'm not completely against sweeteners, artificial sweeteners. I think that if somebody has to have something sweet, it's definitely better than the real thing, than the real sugar, including date honey, including honey, especially for people who have pre-diabetes or are diabetes type 2, and people who are addicted to sugar. They're less addictive. That doesn't mean they're not harmful. But here's the thing. If you're eating like a chocolate mousse that's made with, sweetener, or even worse, like people who have diabetes type 2 think that if they're buying a cake that has in it white flour and margarine, which is so toxic, but there's an artificial sweetener in it instead of sugar, so it's okay for people who have diabetes to eat this kind of cake. These are the type of misconceptions that come around eating sugar, because if they're eating white flour, they're in a cake, so maybe they didn't get the sugar from the cake, but they're getting the sugar from the white flour, so they're eating sugar, and it's going to spike their blood sugar and spike their insulin and make them sick. But they're sort of thinking that they're eating this cake that doesn't taste as good, is twice the price, and they're doing something that's good for their metabolic health. So be very, very careful and very aware about these desserts. The other thing is that when you have, let's say, I don't know, fat, like a lot of cocoa butter and stuff, a chocolate, even if it is sugar-free, chocolate is addictive. These desserts are addictive. They do trigger that craving and that addiction and wanting for more. So do artificial sweeteners. The actual sweet taste can make our body, trick our body into wanting more sweets. So please educate yourself. Be aware what sugar is, okay? White starches are sugar. Sweeteners, very highly, intensely sweet desserts that have been sweetened with artificial sweeteners. All these things are addictive, and they are also not good for our metabolic health. So what should we eat? Eat real food. Nature does have foods that are sweet without adding sweetened to it. Fruit is a natural food that is naturally sweetened. Yes, people with sugar addiction, people with insulin resistance or diabetes type 2 need to be careful about the amount of fruits that they eat. But fruit can't be compared to, a chocolate bar or something that's been sweetened with honey or date honey, etc. So what we're talking about is the sugars that have been added to our foods. Please educate yourself about it, especially if you want to eat healthy and you want to lower your consumption of sugar. Don't let the food industry trick you. Educate yourself well. Read the ingredients of every single thing you buy that's in a package. And that will help you to make sure that you are eating in the healthiest way possible for you, and you're not letting the food industry pull one over you. What do you think about this? I'd love to hear your comments in the section below. And if you're interested in getting free from sugar addiction, you can contact me about my sugar-free recovery program. See you in our next video. Bye-bye.